Will sex toys help with orgasm? Can women really squirt like in porn? How to achieve it? Why do men not care for a woman's orgasm? Why do men rush to penetration and not enjoy the process? Okay, so there's several assumptions here. Okay, so a lot of people that I work with, people with penises, men, they do care about their partner's orgasm. So it's not true. Okay, so I really don't like those kinds of statements that are making value judgments and also stereotyping, because I do work with many conscious, beautiful, wonderful people who just want their partner to have pleasure. So it is not true that men don't care. However, what does happen is they seem to rush and they seem to not enjoy because they are very focused on the performance. They are very worried about losing their erection and the excitement. And this has to do with the lack of sexual skills. If they don't really know how to last longer, then they would be rushing. Then they would be trying to not fail themselves because they have that underlying fear of not being able to perform. So when I have clients coming to me and using words like I cannot perform, unfortunately, they associate performance with erection. And so because they don't have the sexual skills, so that's why they tend to be rushing. So I do work with clients on learning how to last longer in terms of their erection and their ejaculation speed. And this is very much linked to the lack of sex education and the lack of sexual skills. Because if you knew what to do, you would do it. But a lot of people don't know what to do, don't know how to last longer, and are worried. And so it's very much focused about them and delivering, as opposed to really being able to have the confidence because they don't have the skills. So please don't be so hard on men, because they may just be pretending and putting on like a bravado, but in reality, that's not who they are. If they had the confidence, they would focus more on their partner. They would focus more on their partner's arousal. And so it's really important to communicate for yourself and say that, look, this is happening, and so this is what we should do. Let's have external stimulation, then we have the internal. So then your partner will be able to last longer, because your partner is not focusing on going in immediately, quickly, is focusing on first you getting your arousal and stimulation and orgasm, and then focusing on going internally. So it's really about seeing that there are different pieces to the jigsaw. You know, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. There are different pieces, and it's not a linear process as well. So that can happen because they are sexually not confident. Can women really squirt like in porn? How to achieve it? Yes, it is possible to squirt. It is also known as female ejaculation. And this is actually being produced by the skin glands. There's a certain part of the body that produces a liquid that drains into the urethra. So when highly stimulated, the person with the vagina may ejaculate from the urethra, same way as people with penises will ejaculate from the urethra. And so it is possible to ejaculate or to squirt just like in porn. In porn, however, they actually don't do everything in one take. And the reason why the person is in porn is because the person is a performer, and the person is probably very connected with their sexuality. And so to put that onto somebody else and force them to perform is very unfair. However, it is possible if one is curious to actually learn how to do that. So how can we do female ejaculation, or how can a person with a vagina learn how to squirt? The first thing is to be very aroused and to explore internally, especially around the G-spot. Because the liquid actually from the skin gland actually drains into the urethra. So when you're stimulating internally on the vagina, and especially at the G-spot region, what happens is it actually allows for the build-up of sensation and the fluid to start to happen. And it does take a while. It's not like a 5-minute thing. It can be a pretty long process because the person needs to be highly stimulated. And one of the big fears of people ejaculating is that they don't want to mess up the room, the bed sheets, the bed. And so it's really important to attempt to do this in the environment that is conducive. For instance, like in the bathroom, or there's a bathtub, and there's water, they're already in water, for instance, and to just learn to focus on giving yourself sufficient and in fact more than enough stimulation for the build up to happen, and then to have to overcome that fear in your head that you're going to pee, because the sensation is exactly the same as if you were peeing. So really treat this as a self-exploration rather than think like, oh, this is about you making someone. I really detest the whole making someone. It's like you're forcing them, and who is this for? Is this for that person, or is it for you? Is it for you to be able to say how good you are and boast about your abilities, or is it about you really supporting your partner to be happy, to be fulfilled, to be self-actualized? So it's really important to ask the right questions before you even begin the process. And I hope that I've already given you some tips about how to go about learning to have an experience of ejaculation. Will sex toys help with orgasm? The answer is yes, they will definitely help, because we do get tired. We get tired physically, mentally, and maybe not so much emotionally during sex, but definitely physically. When it goes on for a very long time, you do get tired with the rubbing and everything. So sex toys can help, because as we get older, maybe we develop certain disabilities, and maybe we develop tiredness more easily, and maybe less patience. And also what happens is, a lot of us who are new to sex, our genitals can be very sensitive. So as we get older, our genitals actually become stronger. So we are not so sensitive to different kinds of stimulation. And that is one of the reasons why people become more open to the use of sex toys as they get older. So definitely they can help, because sex toys come in different shapes and sizes and forms. Not all sex toys vibrate. Some of them are not meant for internal stimulation. Some of them are meant for clitoral stimulation. That, like for instance, there's also like clitoral suction stimulation. There's a clitoral stimulation, flickering, and all kinds of different amazing sensations that you can experience with the help of sex toys. And with the use of sex toys, especially the good quality ones, you don't have to worry about infection or UTI, which can happen with a partner. So sex toys is a form of safer sex, especially if the products are of high quality. So it's safer sex. It's safe sex with yourself, especially during these challenging times of COVID, when everybody is in self-imposed self-isolation or social distancing. It's really important to not shut down your sexuality, and to continue to explore your body, and to treat yourself as the precious person that you are. So this has been Martha. I hope this has been interesting and useful for you.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any videos by us.